Hi, I've just completed my media fast and media immersion, and I'll take you through my media fast first. Before I started, I had to think of a suitable day. I couldn't just give up my time on any day. It had to be a day where I'd normally interact with media less in order for me to actually complete it. One major thing was that I had no sense of time because I'd usually rely on my phone or my laptop to tell me the time. And while I was going through my day, I began to really think about what was regarded as media. So while I was making my breakfast, I took out this box of Cheerios and I thought, is this a form of media? Because the front looks like an advertisement. And the same goes with this juice. The packaging looks like an advertisement, so it could be classed as a form of media. But this can't really be avoided because every product has to have packaging on it. And the same was with clothes. So I wore this top and I began to think, is this also a form of media because of the brand name? And also, the pictures that I have up on my wall could be regarded as a form of media too. But this made me think that I can't avoid these things throughout this day because I'd have to go around with my eyes shut, which isn't really very good. A good point about my media fast was that I talked face to face with people instead of through my phone or through a laptop. It was nice to have that human interaction because I think sometimes things like social media can really inhibit like social interactions between people because it's much easier to pick up a phone and talk through the phone instead of going out of your way to go and see somebody face to face. So I think that doing this media fast got me out of my house and got me talking to people and interacting, which was good. A bad point was that I felt isolated. I couldn't really check the news, which I usually do like on my TV or on my laptop. So I sort of felt isolated from the daily news. I couldn't check my social networking notifications, and I couldn't check my phone, which was very important to me, as you'll see from my media immersion. So I'll go through my media immersion now. I created this tally of just how many times I checked things, and it's got things on it such as text received and sent, Facebook messages received and sent, tweets sent, statuses sent, notifications, and emails sent and received, and also how many times that I checked my phone. I checked my phone 88 times in one day, which equated to about 6 times an hour or once every 10 minutes. So basically my phone was always glued to my hand. So this made me realise just how attached I am to it and how attached I am to my social networking, because every time I had my phone in my hand, I was checking Facebook, I was reading a message, I was reading an email, I was sending a tweet, I was sending an email. So it just made me realise how much messaging I get from my phone alone. There was sort of an overload of messages to me, and I was always being alerted to my phone. It was always vibrating, going off in my pocket, so I couldn't really get away from that. Media was used a lot in my lectures and seminars in the form of PowerPoints and YouTube videos, and you could even argue that the handouts and the writing I was doing myself was a form of media. I had difficulties doing the media immersion with writing down every single form of media that I saw. I managed to write down these 3 pages, this one and this, but that obviously isn't everything that I could have written down. I sort of didn't realise sometimes or recognise when I was passing a form of media. I found myself walking down the spine and forgetting to check down that I'd seen all these posters and all these advertisements for different things, because it was just accepted and I just carried on. And this brought on the question, is the amount of media messaging in our modern society really relevant? And is it really necessary? We seem to be completely bombarded with messages and signals everywhere we go, from going to the shop or just walking to a lecture like I was. So much so that it's become a natural practice. Does this mean that we're going to continue to just shove more and more and more media messages at people? And will it carry on, or will people begin to realise about the society that we live in? So, to conclude, I didn't particularly hate my media fast. It was just that in our modern society, I don't think we're able to just choose to abstain from media, especially with things like social networking, because I help run the trampolining club, for example, and most of that is run through Facebook because it costs too much to ring everyone and text everyone. So Facebook is the easiest way to contact everyone with one single point, and it's the most easy way to run the club, basically. So I couldn't choose to abstain from that because I would be asking them to contact me in a different way, and I don't think that would work. It definitely opened my eyes to just how much media messaging we are subject to in everyday life without really realizing it. Although I don't think this amount of media is particularly necessary. I think it has become a normal part of our society, and I think it will probably just carry on this way. So I did enjoy doing this project, and I probably would do it again because it opened my eyes to many things. Thank you for watching.